before we have the national liberation for 1949, we have this old system, like people were attached to the land, they planned, and they have this property. That's the whole system. And if this country becomes a big factory, those people who don't have right before, they think living is just like a gift from God, and now they think to live is their right, and everybody is equal. This country just get crowded, and people from the countryside want to get in town to make a living. Sometimes they are doing bad things to the cities, and the citizens trying to protect themselves with the Hu code. Is what government used to protect those people who are already very a lot better than the people from the countryside of losing their positions. And people from countryside are losing their lands because of pollution, because of the price of things now they cannot afford to buy. Because of a lot of things, because of their kids who are born day after day. They need a future, maybe in town. All those fake dreams by TV sets, TV shows, they tell you about being rich and having cars and getting, all these brainwashed material, world TV programs. And people will just change. And if you see it, you just hate. You just start to hate. Might be a huge camera in front of me somewhere. Always. So I always act like a movie star or something like that because it's so funny. And if you act, everything you do becomes beautiful. Like picking up a piece of leaf and torturing it, nail polish, very ugly. But if you visionary beautiful, you see. So I paint it because it's colorful, and as if there's some like I spy or watcher watching you from up above or somewhere near you or far from you, it's just good looking with colors. She called me like one day after she got my number from a show, and she came over to my school, and she's dressing very beautiful too, with socks of stripes and a jean skirt, very short. She don't wear underwear, and she came around to my school and she looked exactly like me. And then we changed clothes beside the lake, we pee inside the jungles where everybody's watching. I don't really give a shit, and we're spinning around in the grassland. She just suddenly show up. Like, I saw her several times in rock shows at Old Yingtang. And then she just said hi to me. I said hi to her, and then she got my number. And she called me and said, "Oh, fuck, I fell in love with a gay." I said, "Oh, yeah. I tell you what, I'm also gay." And she said, okay, so can we be together? I said, sure. So she came over the next day and we were talking and walking through, and she brought like a cat ear, black cat ear, and a very cute pink rabbit ear on her head, and also a rabbit ear. We were wearing that, and as long as we were walking amongst all these students, they said, "Oh, these two girls are cosplayer," but we're not. We're just lesbians with guns. That was funny.
I'm done.
Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Kite? You don't know kite? Do you know kite?
No. Okay. This.
Yeah, you with one string and flying up in the sky. I think we should go to my dorm. I'm tired.
We're getting wasted on the deck. We're trying not to think about the water coming on board, making it hard to steer. You burn the sugar on my spoon before you stir my drink. You say it's a pleasure to be here. You say it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I talked about China before with my friend who is the bass player of the band I toured with called Wang Song. I told him I know everything, so I'm kind of sick of talking about all these and different opinions. It was just culture difference. In China, city is different from village. Village people are looked down upon by people from the city. So they come to the city from the village. They are Minggong. They don't have knowledge. They don't go to school, so they don't know shit. Maybe sometimes they can't even write. So they just do physical work. Or pretty girls become prostitutes. Or service girls in restaurants, hotel rooms, supermarkets, or some, little shop, clothing shop and stuff. That's all they do. Yeah, and they get little money every month. They live a life like a dog. They don't have security, and sometimes they're checked by the cops. Their life is actually very miserable. If you don't get sick, it's okay. It's like everything like in the countryside is the same. Like in the countryside, you can live a very easy life by just planting your own food and raising your own animals, and you can eat very well. You can even making your own jazz. So life is actually easy. But if you get sick, then that's the huge problem. You will just lay there and die, because medication is so expensive. Apparently, it seems like we've lost religion, because we used to just believe in the king or nature, or just believe in living itself. And now everybody believes in money, in consumerism. And all these people just got so plastic and fake and lost in everywhere. Even in my hometown, it's not the same. People still believe that you need a very wise and wisdom man to make decisions for you, to make rules for you. That's how the great leaders of our country do. They think like a father, a guy who controls the whole country. Like they think like the king, like they are thinking for their kids. What is the thing that benefits them for most? But if like the system works in a different way, like everybody is equal and everybody is actually smart, they have enough information and logic thoughts to know what is happening on their own, and then things start to change. And these people who are thinking as fathers, or pretend they think as fathers to take advantage of this society,
of course they need to protect themselves now. That's now what's happening. That they are making fake, fake informations of how our economy is growing is fast and everything is very nice. And those people who come from the countryside, they don't even have a, high school card identity. So they're just doing the cheapest job, which is the worst. That they may stay in the city and they don't have the legal proof that they are protected by the police of this fucking city, and they just got fucked. Like girls who worked in restaurants. They live in those small apartments together. Maybe they got raped by some guy next door. They don't have like the law to protect them. What will they do? That's very unfair actually for people from village out of Shanghai. But you cannot change it because there's so many people here in China. We're just misplaced, I think. Firstly, I might think I am misplaced in this city, because when I was in high school, I think as me, for myself, I shouldn't be a college student. I should be a street wanderer. The first time I saw my mom was when I was 4. I went back home from my uncle's home, which I thought it was home. I thought my uncle and my aunt were my parents. Like I called them Mama and Baba. But then they said to me, "Oh, I'm not your Mama, I'm not your Baba. Your Mama, Baba is somewhere else." And that's when I took this long trip. I forgot how did I get there? Maybe by some free will, very ugly and broken motorcycle. Yeah, and the road is muddy and the weather was very bad. And it's a long trip, maybe for 2 or 3 hours. Get back to my home and I saw this very beautiful young lady standing in front of me. I've never seen a woman that beautiful. And then she came up to me and said, "I'm your mama." That's when I started to hate her. I committed suicide the first time when I was 8. It was just for fun, because I never tried it. I think it might be fun. I saw it on TV shows while beautiful ladies hang themselves up on a tree. So I tried to do that with my home curtain. I climbed up the sofa, make the curtain this round and put my neck on it. And then my feet left the top of the sofa and get down here. And for 5 seconds I can't breathe. And then the curtain just fucking slipped down. And because it was that kind of, that kind of cloth with the sharp slide, that side of it. So it just cut my throat like this with the scar, red scar. And I didn't realize, and the next day it hurts a lot. It's like a little knife cut, something like that. I have this passion of learning, so in my primary school I was working very hard actually, and just for myself, like pleasure for myself, and then I get very good, like top student of the school, and I always get, I never lose a fucking anything. I just got like top mark of the class, and I was the top student of my school. And then when I was 9, I started to speak Mandarin very good and going to lecture, show, competition in my town and get some grades, regards, and also some Olympic competition, which is like some monthly Olympic competition between kids all over China, and I did a good job on that too. I become a depressed kid in the 2nd year of my middle school. because like boys started calling me a whore, and I've got my period. And the day I got my period, I think my life is totally changed, because I know I won't have all those like early years back again, and start to be a stupid woman. And you know, in China, like if you're a woman, that means maybe you will soon get married and get pregnant of a baby, give birth to the baby, and your life is totally wasted. Something like that. I start to live alone in a dorm. I start to listen to rock music, read a lot of foreign novels and stuff. And I just get completely weird, and I have this nervous breakdown and character division later on. The first time I felt like the world is spinning around me was the 3rd year of my middle school. One day I was walking inside the classroom, and I sit down, and then later I start to scratch my hair like this, and then I roll on the ground for a few minutes, and then I just passed out crying. Everybody's panicked. But then later it just went on well because I'm good at hiding or something like that. But my mom started to ask me to take some pills like vitamin C. I don't know if that is vitamin C or something like that to calm your like mind down or something. I was still a top student at the end of my middle school. Always top student. Way better than the second one. When I finish my whole high school, I want to come to Shanghai for maybe 1 or 2 week visit right before I enter college. But my mom refused. And she also burned all my, smashed all my CDs and burned all my rock magazines because she thinks this ruined my mental situation. I should be in some way better college, you know. But I didn't, because I didn't really study my high school or something like that. My mom was actually pissed, but she never told me. The 2nd year of my college, I went back home with a lot of holes in my lips and some holes on my nose and some holes here, and wearing those things. It looked pretty scary, and my mom just looked at me and she don't understand. She was just watching me for hours and hours, and she can't say anything. I think she's totally scared. Yesterday my mom called me, and it was just short conversations, and it really freaked me out because we were so different, like the way of how we live and the values of life, and even the living condition is apparently very different. Like in Shanghai, you could live in houses very nice. You have electricity all the time, and in my hometown, even now, sometimes the electricity just died, and you have to live in the dark, something like that. So I understand my mom, but she would never understand me, because the world is not open to her yet. I think so. I think my mom might be very scared the world is open to me. She don't want it to happen. It might be dangerous. Maybe she thinks so. And I also got a poem book. It's called Poetry of the Past, and some people like it very much, some criticals, and I felt very nice of it. Yeah, I think artists are like common people. As long as they find a way to express themselves, and they just put this art into their life and start a thing of their own. Like painting. I don't paint whenever I want to paint. I paint when I have this feeling, or I just randomly pick up something and start to put something down on this paper. My passion of music started when I was very young, which is second year of my middle school. I started to be the school radio reporter. I started to listen to music. But when I was very young, I also sing sometimes and dance sometimes. I think I am very fond of performing and singing. And I found myself very good at singing too, because I got a big voice, something like that. So I was always singing on the street, or singing when I'm eating, singing when I was sleeping, always singing for several years. I like copying things. You write very fast, non-stopping, and write, and all these words just become part of you if you do it again and again and again. Like maybe these 2 or 3 years I just start to create things, like by writing poems and stuff, and it just flows out because you already have this storage of how words are together and how they should be together. Have you seen a movie called Shaving and Clean?
Yeah, this is good. We're capturing the moment here.
I think switching positions might be kind of hard here. How are you doing that?
Good? What do you think?
And somehow I managed to see my band, which is called Boys Climbing Roads, and I started to play in this band.
Oh yeah, I got this beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice.
And now I feel like I'm not myself anymore, of course. I'm not a village girl anymore. I'm like half Shanghainese now, because I've been here for 4 years of seeing all these people. I've known their rules, I've known their values, I've known some foreigners' values, and I've seen a lot, and I could get along.
Is there enough light?
Yeah. So you no longer hate anymore. Maybe you just get a bit peace.